Hey! Today we're going to talk about one of the greatest composers of all time, Ludwig van Beethoven. But not just any Beethoven, we're going to talk about the Beethoven who was a rebel, a genius and a legend. The Beethoven who rocked the world with his music and his attitude. The Beethoven who was the original bad boy of classical music. The Beethoven who made Mozart look like a choir boy. The Beethoven who made Bach look like a boring old man. The Beethoven who made Haydn look like Haydn. Let's find out why. Beethoven was born in 1770 in Bonn, Germany. He was a musical prodigy who learned to play the piano, violin and organ at a young age. He moved to Vienna in 1792 to study with Joseph Haydn, one of the most famous composers of the classical era. He soon became known as a virtuoso pianist and a brilliant composer who wrote symphonies, sonatas, concertos, quartets and more. He was admired by the nobility and the public alike. He had it all: fame, fortune and talent. If you enjoy, be sure to subscribe. Beethoven also had a lot of problems. Beethoven was not a very nice person. He was rude, arrogant and stubborn. He often got into fights and arguments with his patrons, his friends, his family and his lovers. He had a temper that could explode at any moment. He once threw a chair at a singer who annoyed him. He once smashed a violin on the floor when he was dissatisfied with his performance. He once broke off an engagement with a woman because she couldn't play the piano well enough. He also had a lot of enemies. Beethoven lived in a turbulent time in history. He witnessed the French Revolution, the Napoleonic Wars and the rise and fall of empires. He was a supporter of democracy and freedom, but he also faced censorship and oppression from the authorities. He was accused of being a spy, a traitor and a revolutionary. He was once arrested by mistake for being a vagrant. He was once chased by soldiers who thought he was an enemy agent. He also had a lot of challenges. Around 1796, Beethoven started to notice a ringing in his ears. He ignored it at first, thinking it was just a temporary annoyance. But it got worse over time. He began to have difficulty hearing high-pitched sounds and voices. He had to ask people to repeat themselves or write down what they said. He became more irritable and withdrawn. He feared that he would lose his hearing completely and his career would be ruined. He tried various remedies to cure his deafness: eardrops, pills, baths, electric shocks, even drilling holes in his skull. Nothing worked. He consulted several doctors, but they couldn't help him either. They didn't know what caused his deafness or how to treat it. Some of them gave him ridiculous advice like, stop playing loud music, stop drinking coffee, stop eating spicy food, stop being angry, stop being Beethoven. But he didn't give up. By 1802, Beethoven realized that his deafness was incurable and irreversible. He was devastated. But he also decided to dedicate himself to his music and create works that would express his inner feelings and transcend his physical limitations. He composed some of his most famous and influential works after he became deaf: the Eroica Symphony, the Fifth Symphony, the Pastoral Symphony, the Ninth Symphony, the Missa Solemnis, the late string quartets and piano sonatas, and more. He used his imagination and memory to hear the sounds in his head. He used notebooks and conversation books to communicate with others. He used a special ear trumpet and a wooden rod attached to his piano to amplify the vibrations. He didn't let his deafness stop him from creating music that changed the world. He rocked on. He once said, "To play a wrong note is insignificant. To play without passion is inexcusable." And he played with passion. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. If you did, be sure to subscribe. Goodbye.